for the delay. Jade is with us now. I'm going to start the webinar and hand over to Jade. Jade, welcome. The stage is yours.
Thank you. 15 minutes late, but better late than never. Thank you for having me, and thank you for waiting, everybody. Firstly, my name is Jade and I am the Business Development Manager for Playa Hotels and Resorts in the UK. So we're going to cover quite a lot of Playa today. There's a lot of brands and a lot of hotels, but I'm just going to pinpoint some of the key ones to give you some full information on them. So let me just share my screen. Okay, can everybody see that? Sarah, can you see it? Is that okay?
All good.
Perfect. So Playa Hotels and Resorts, I always start with this slide. There are many hotels in the collection with 7 unique brands, and every single Playa property is all inclusive, but they're not all the same. And that's very much where these training presentations come in, so that we can show you the different brands and exactly the kind of clients that those brands would be suitable for. So as I mentioned in the beginning, my name is Jade, and obviously for the UK agents, my contact details are all here. I will share them in the follow-up as well, but you can contact me by email or by phone, or connect with me on Facebook, and reach out to me anytime for anything that you may need. So looking at Playa as a whole, we continue to grow. Every time I do a new presentation, there's an extra hotel or two, so it makes it a lot to cover. But Playa currently have 25 hotels under their portfolio. So we offer 13 properties in Mexico, 7 in the Dominican Republic, and 5 in Jamaica as well. So looking top line, why Playa? So we have the many different brands across the 3 different locations, but one of the most important things to remember is that Playa offers the same consistency in terms of its service and expectations on the all-inclusive across all 25 of the properties under Playa. So a few of those are unlimited gourmet a la carte dining, no wristbands are required at any of our properties, and no dining reservations. Endless drinks, including top shelf international spirits. So even in some of our 4-star all-inclusive properties, we're still offering the top shelf international spirits as part of the all-inclusive. 24-hour room service, a kids club ages 4 to 12, and a teen zone ages 13 to 17. So we're catering for children and the teens in our family properties, which is super important. And heartfelt service, which is really unique and special. When you walk into any of our properties, the staff will take their right hand and put it over their heart and welcome you home, which is really lovely. I always find that when I'm hosting a fam trip, I just walk around the resort all morning with that gesture, doing that to all of the staff. So 7 unique brands. I'm not going to touch on all of them in a lot of detail. I've just pinpointed some of them to discuss today, but there are 7 brands that live under the Playa family. So starting right at the top, Sanctuary Cap Cana is our 5-star luxury adult only brand. And the Hyatt Zalara and Hyatt Ziva all-inclusive is also our 5-star brand under Playa. Sitting in the middle at 4.5-star, we have our Hilton all-inclusive and the Tapestry Collection by Hilton Hotels and Resorts. And then our Wyndham all-inclusives, our Jewel Resorts, and our Sea Dust are our entry-level 4.5-star all-inclusive options, with the exception of Jewel Grand, just to make that a bit confusing. So Jewel Grand is a separate Jewel property, which is of a 5-star standard. So I'm going to start with this video. It's about 2 minutes long, so bear with it. But what it does, it will just show you the different brands. And I just want you to see them come to life a little bit before I talk at you for a whole hour, just so that you get a good understanding of the product. So I'm going to play that now. a 2-minute video that often feels very, very long, but what it does, it just gives you an overview of the different brands, the different locations and properties, and hopefully some of you recognize them. I saw some love heart emojis, so hopefully that means you love them. Maybe some of you have visited. So just to start with some of the key brands, looking at them individually. So Hilton All Inclusive is one of those brands under the Playa family. And I think firstly, not to get confused with a Hilton in London or a Hilton New York, it's a very different brand. The brand name itself is Hilton All Inclusive, and you will only find that in our 3 locations, Mexico, Jamaica and on Rep. So we offer adult only Hilton All Inclusive properties. We offer 2 in Mexico and 1 in the Dominican Republic. And the family Hilton All Inclusive, there's 1 located in the Dominican Republic and 1 in Jamaica as well. So just looking at one of those, Hilton La Romana, because it's probably one of the most popular hotels that we feature, certainly in the UK market. So this was the old Dreams La Romana. So if anybody was familiar with Dreams La Romana or was selling that previously, we took it over in 2018, did some major renovations and rebranded it as Hilton La Romana. So what we decided to do when we took it over is we actually turned it into 2 different hotels. So what you see circled here is the adult only Hilton La Romana property. And then on this side is the family section. So this is really good for groups or for people that are in large, having a large wedding, anybody where you may have families where some people might want to stay on the adult side and some people might want to be on the family side. You must be 18 or older to stay on the family side of this property. And any guest on the adult side has full access over to the family side. So by doing that, if you book guests into the adult only property, they can go over to the family side and have access to a further 5 restaurants, 2 pools and 4 bars. So you kind of pay for 1 and you kind of stay and play in 2, which is a really unique thing. And any guest on the family side, if they're over the age of 18, they can come over to the adult side as well to access more restaurants, pools and bars. You'll see just in the back here, the water park. So when this was a Dreams, it didn't have a water park. And we realized that actually no hotel in this whole Playa Bay area had a water park. So we wanted that to be a bit of a niche. So we are the only hotel in this area that does have a water park. So that's a great KSP for families, although most of the time this is full of adults just as well as children. And just to put it into perspective, I was staying in this block here when I was at the property last year. So this is the last block of the adult only section. And it took me around 12 to 15 seconds actually to get to this point in the middle to cross over to the family section. It really doesn't take that long. I'm quite short. I'm only 5'2". I wasn't running. It's just a really easy way to walk between the 2 resorts. So a lot of the agents ask me, well, how do you actually get across? Because you don't wear wristbands at any of your resorts. And it's always a very good question. So there's a checkpoint in the middle with a security team member. And he has a rooming list and he knows every room number and if there's a child that's been allocated to that booking. So if anybody was trying to come over from the family side from room number 212, for example, and there were children logged on that booking, obviously the children wouldn't be allowed to go across. It is a true adult only experience. I have had people email to say, oh, we have a guest that's going to be 17 and a half. Can they go over to the adult side? We don't allow it. Until the guests actually turn fully 18, they wouldn't be allowed to go over. So just good to note that it is a true adult only experience and you definitely won't find any children that might almost be 18 going over to the adult side. So I'm going to focus on the family side of this property just to give you a few KSPs. So it's 45 minutes from Punta Cana International Airport. And as I mentioned, it's in the Playa Bay area of La Romana. There's low-rise buildings at this property, which make it really nice because the sun shines all day long and there are no big buildings that obstruct that Caribbean sun. A state-of-the-art water park, as we briefly saw with Lazy River, unlimited access to gourmet a la carte dining, limitless international and domestic top shelf spirits, and we do have premium rooms available at this property as well. So there are 418 rooms, 6 restaurants, 8 bars and lounges, and as I mentioned, guests over the age of 18 can go over to the adult section, and we have a kids club and a teen zone at this property as well. So just to show you this shot, as I mentioned, the low-rise buildings, it just makes it really nice for the really hot, Caribbean days, because you still get the breeze from the sea, but the sun is there all day long with no big buildings that distract that. So this is the lobby. This is what you walk into when you check in, which is just lovely. You get into this lobby, you can see the pool, you can see the beach, and it's just a really wonderful welcome. So you can just see a little bit more here. The top left is the reception area where guests will check in. We have concierge on the top right, our lobby bar, which of an evening obviously gets busier, and our coffee shop as well. And then our main swimming pool, you can see there on the top left, our premium pool, which of course is only accessible if you're in a premium room. So those customers that are upgrading to any of our premium rooms will have private access to this pool, as well as the VIP check-in and check-out, and different options for breakfast as well. And then bottom left, you can see the swim out rooms and then just a shot of the beach. And this beach has actually won a lot of awards. It's won the best Caribbean wedding backdrop for about the last 5 years in a row. It's such a stunning beach that it sits on. So we have 6 restaurants located on the family side of this property. The Spice Market is our buffet option. So obviously that serves breakfast, lunch and dinner, and it's the only restaurant out of the 6 that is a buffet restaurant. So the other 4 are a la carte, which makes that really nice. If guests are staying for a week, they have a lot of choice. And of course, if anybody is over the age of 18, they can go over to the adult only side and experience even more of our restaurants too. So just to show you a few of them on the family side. So the top left is our Peruvian restaurant, and then the top right is our French restaurant, and we also have an Italian and the grill as well. So serving a world range of different cuisines to suit everybody. And here's just a shot about, this is actually the teens club. As I mentioned, super important that we cater for kids and the teens. Babysitting services are offered at this property as well. So for children under the age of 4, babysitting services can be arranged, but there would be a charge for that. That wouldn't be included on the all-inclusive. And just to show you some shots of the water park. So again, this is included on the all-inclusive, as you would expect. No hidden charges for things like this. You can eat and drink and pretty much do whatever you want and splash around and go down the slides, and you won't have to pay any extra to do that. So here are your lead-in rooms. This is actually one from the adult side. And on the family side, they look exactly the same, except the bedding configuration is a double-double for the most part to cater for families. And I'm just going to show you a really short video on the water park. So moving on to a different brand under the Playa family, so Hyatt Zalara and Hyatt Ziva. I know you guys can't talk back to me. I would have asked you if you knew the difference between the two, but Hyatt Zalara is our adult only Hyatt all-inclusive experience, and Hyatt Ziva is our family friendly all ages Hyatt all-inclusive experience. So you will find a Zalara and a Ziva in each of our 3 destinations, Mexico, Jamaica and Dom Rep. And the most recent Hyatt Zalara to join our family was the Hyatt Zalara Riviera Maya. So this opened in December 2022, and I was so fortunate enough to see it in December, a few days after it opened. It is truly spectacular, and it is the ex-Secrets Capri. So if anybody was familiar with that, if you were selling AM Resorts before, or just wondered what happened to it, we took it over and did some major renovations, and it's recently opened as our newest Hyatt Zalara. So just to touch on one of those Hyatts, I would love to talk about them all, but we definitely don't have time. So Hyatt Ziva Cap Cana is located in the Dominican Republic. And actually Cap Cana itself is a kind of new destination within the Dominican Republic. I don't think we'd ever put luxury and Dom Rep in the same sentence previously, but Cap Cana is changing the way that the luxury hotels kind of are known in the Dominican Republic. So for those that are not familiar with it as an area, Cap Cana itself is located 15 minutes from Punta Cana International Airport, and Cap Cana is a gated community. So every hotel inside Cap Cana, you know, it's in a gated community, which makes it really secure, gives families extra peace of mind. I mean, the government know who's going in, who's coming out. It's really secured in a nice way. And I always drop this into my training presentations because why not? Mariah Carey and Enrique Iglesias actually own homes in this estate. So if you can imagine how luxury these hotels are, and the estate that it sits in, and the kind of celebrities that choose to buy homes here and actually holiday here, it's just to put it into that luxury feeling for you. So now that we know Hyatt Ziva is our all ages family friendly property, I'm just going to go through some KSPs on that one. So it's set on Juanilo Beach, which I'll show you a few pictures of in a moment. It's such a stunning, untouched, white, powdery, sandy beach. And it always makes me laugh when I get to the pictures because they look photoshopped, but I kid you not, I stood right on that beach and it looked exactly the same. And 15 minutes from the airport, as I mentioned, so a super short transfer, especially for families with young children. So 275 rooms here. And we also have a water park at this property as well. We offer a kids club and a teen zone. We have a huge spa, and the entertainment at this resort is just fantastic. And I left this photo in here because it actually sits right next to a Zalara. So what you see here is the Ziva property, and right next door is the Hyatt Zalara. So you can walk between the two again. So if you're 18 or older on the family side, you can go and use all of the facilities in Zalara. And if you're on the Zalara side, you can come over to Ziva and use all of the facilities as well. And this is Juanilo Beach, which I said it looks extremely unreal, but I stood right there and it looks exactly like that. So if you've got people that are beach people, this truly is a lovely beach. So I kind of covered most of these points already in terms of the KSPs, and obviously the water park, which I'll touch on a little bit more. But I think one of the most important things, this opened in November 2019. Obviously, we had the wobble in between that after it opened. But I think what makes it really special is that we built this property from the ground up. So it was a brand new resort. We built it exactly how we wanted it, $250 million later. And then we had Hyatt Ziva and Zalara Cap Cana. I think we always take over a property and kind of make it our own. This one's super special that we built it from the ground up exactly how we wanted it to be. So here's your lead-in rooms at Hyatt Cap Cana. So the junior suites. So they will seat 2 adults and 3 children under the age of 12. So there is a sofa bed that are in these rooms. And the bathrooms are just lovely. So you've got the double sinks, they're really spacious, really bright. So they stay exactly the same when you upgrade to an ocean view junior suite, except for, of course, you get a view of the ocean. But actually, just to go back a few slides, because it's quite important, if you look at how the hotel is built, pretty much everyone has an ocean view anyway. So no matter what room category you're booking, even if it's the lead-in room, you're going to get a bit of a view of the ocean or the pool or something really nice anyway, due to the way that it's built. So this is our junior suite swim up rooms. These will sleep 2 adults and 2 children, and children must be 13 or older to stay in any of the swim up rooms at this property. And here's just an image of one of our master suites. So again, these will take 4 people and up to 3 children. So I'm going to play you just a short video in a moment. So just to touch on the food on the family side of the property, we offer some amazing food options. Actually, out of all of the hotels in our collection, this is the resort that I would say if you've got foodies, then this would absolutely be for them. So Tempest is our Asian cuisine, and I know that every all-inclusive nowadays offers an Asian option as part of their all-inclusive, but we really take the authenticity to the next level. I mean, when you walk into this restaurant, you really don't feel that you're in the Dominican Republic at all, and the food is just absolutely amazing. Everything you would typically expect, from the teppanyaki tables and the live cooking shows, or there's the normal seating as well in the back of the restaurant. Noodle and Fred is our very authentic Italian cuisine. So again, this is an a la carte restaurant that is open for dinner. Chinola, which is our beachside restaurant. This is open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So as I mentioned kind of with Hilton, if you're in the premium or club level rooms, there will be different options available to you for breakfast instead of the buffet. So if you're in a club level room at Hyatt Ziva Cap Cana, you can actually have an a la carte breakfast and lunch at Chinola. Our Navigator Grill is our Caribbean restaurant. So this is serving your kind of seafood with a twist of the Caribbean as well. And this is open for dinner only. And El Mercado. So this was a really interesting experience when I was here. So this is the buffet restaurant on the Ziva side. And I was hosting a fam trip. we'd got here and I was absolutely gobsmacked just how big it was. There are so many different sections to this buffet that it's kind of crazy. So as you walk through, you've kind of got the Italian section, you've got the seafood section. There are so many different things, and I remember eating prawns and steak and sashimi for lunch on the buffet as part of the all-inclusive, and I was thinking, if this is my lunch, you know, what am I going to have for dinner? This is insane. This is insanely good. And one thing I love is that you don't actually help yourself at this buffet. So that's something that kind of came from COVID, and they stuck with it because it just keeps it a bit more luxury. You know, people are serving your food for you. You can have as much as you want, but it just keeps it nice and clean and tidy as well. You know, there's not food kind of everywhere on the sides, and I just really liked that actually. It made it a little bit different to a help yourself buffet. They do themed evenings as well. So even though you've got these various different stations with different cuisines, they will have like a themed evening a few days of the week. So it could be Mexican night one night, or it could be an Indian night. And that's also nice to mix it up for those that are staying for a week or two. And then Prontos. So this is just by the pool. If you just need some snacks, you can grab that here. And it's really healthy. You can find shakes and healthy options on property here as well, and we do cater for vegans and vegetarians and for those that need a gluten-free diet, so that's also important if you have customers with those requirements. And I'm just going to show you a little bit on the foods. Yeah, this is definitely somewhere you wouldn't find burgers and chips all day long. I think that's probably the easiest way to say it. So just looking at the Canapolis water park, so this is at the heart of the resort and obviously open to both sections. So adults on Solara can absolutely come over and use this water park as well. I think what makes it so different is that we have the 2 food trucks actually in the water park grounds. So if you've got young children that didn't want to wait to get dried and dressed to go upstairs to have their buffet lunch, they can literally sit and drink here all day from 9 till 6 and not have to move and go upstairs. So that makes it quite unique and quite different to our one at Hilton. So just touching very briefly on a different brand, Jewel. I'm trying to do this in a very unconfusing way, moving from brand to brand and location to location. But Jewel Resorts, we have 2 of these in Jamaica, Jewel Paradise Cove and Jewel Grand. And we have 2 new ones in the Dominican Republic, which I'll touch on a little bit later. So Jewel Paradise Cove is located in the Runaway Bay area, about an hour from Montego Bay International Airport. And I always include it in my slides because the price point for this is just fantastic. And for those agents in the UK, you can package this together with flights from London for 7 nights for about £1,300 per person with a good airfare. So if you've got adults with that kind of budget that want all inclusive, they want Caribbean, they want adults only, it is an extremely strong price point. So please bear that in mind when you're looking for Jamaica. So as I mentioned, its location, there's 225 rooms. There's a really cool fitness trail that goes the whole way around the resort. So right across the seafront and the whole way around the resort and back to the front. And you can run around it, you can walk around it, you can jog around it, you can do whatever you want. But you'll find people doing that in the morning to start their day. It's a really nice kind of walk. And there is actually a water slide here as well, so in the middle of the resort, because which adult doesn't like a water slide? So there's one at this hotel, and the food is really good here as well. I'm just going to show you. So you'll notice in there the jerk hut. It's probably one of the most famous jerk huts. I mean, every hotel in Jamaica says it, but the jerk chicken here is really, really good. Tried and tested, and I can vouch for that. But I just like I said, always to mention it because we offer these super luxury hotels, you know, in the likes of Cana and the Hyatts that we've looked at, and we also offer these wonderful affordable friendly options as well. So always like to mention that. So going back to luxury and back to Cana, to our sanctuary property. So it's the only one that belongs to that. It's not a brand, it's a standalone hotel in itself. So again, it's in that wonderful and exclusive gated community of Cana, which is 15 minutes from Punta Cana International Airport. All inclusive, adult only, with 324 luxury suites. So it's an all suite property. There are 19 room categories, which is an absolute pain in the bottom for travel agents, but we have cheat sheets and things that make it a little bit easier. So those 19 room categories are split into 4 different sections, and probably one of the most famous sections is the castle, which we'll touch on in a little bit. We offer butler service, and the food here again is amazing. There are 5 restaurants on property, and I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail in a second. So it's quite a big resort, spread out over a lot of land. And what's interesting is that across the road is something called Sanctuary Town. So in the grounds of the property, you'll find all of the restaurants and bars. And then if you come out the front of the property and across the road to Sanctuary Town, it's another collection of villages, of restaurants and bars in a kind of village setting. So it's kind of designed like an old Mexican kind of Western village, and there's a selection of restaurants and bars, and they're all included on the all-inclusive for guests that are staying at Sanctuary. So not only do you get all of the restaurants on property, it's really nice to be able to go out of the resort and dine and drink and actually not have to pay a penny. So when you're staying, you kind of get dressed up and you feel like you're going out somewhere else off the grounds of the property, and it literally doesn't cost you anything. So that's a really great KSP. And just to mention back to the castle, I actually don't have a picture of it on here, which is a shame, but I'll put it in my follow-up. So one of the sections is the castle, and it's very popular with honeymooners or those that are celebrating a special anniversary or a special occasion. It is the only place in the Caribbean that you can actually stay in a castle on all-inclusive. So that's quite unique and quirky as well. But I'll definitely add some photos in the follow-up, and I'll just show you a short video on Sanctuary. So we did actually get to see a bit of the castle, which I'm glad. So you saw that right at the end. So it's super luxury. And just to remember, this hotel is like the creme de la creme of luxury in our portfolio. So this sits right at the top. And if your customers want luxury, they would not be disappointed with a stay at Sanctuary Cana. So just a couple of updates as things are changing all of the time. We have actually taken over 2 new properties. So Jewel Punta Cana has joined the Playa family. This was the Extremes Punta Cana, formerly AM Resorts. So if anybody was selling this property or was familiar with it, we've just taken it over and rebranded it as part of our Jewel collection. We will be releasing further information on that shortly. And the same for Jewel Palm Beach. So again, this was the Extremes Palm Beach Resort, and we've rebranded it as Jewel, and it has joined the Playa family. So watch out for updates. We will be sharing information on that soon. And Sea Dust Cancun. So this recently joined our family, and this is a 4-star all-inclusive kind of budget-friendly option for clients, which is really nice. So this hotel sits right in the middle of the Cancun hotel zone, so it gives us a 4-star lead-in property in that location, which we didn't have before, as you know, under the Playa collection. So that's a really good addition. So for UK agents only, sorry for anybody else listening, we are running a couple of fam trips this year, and the most recent one is a fam trip to the Dominican Republic. I'm sure you've heard of Playa Rewards, and for agents in the US, that would be your Cash Plus. But for those in the UK, we'll be looking at how many bookings you've logged, and if you've logged lots and lots, we'll be reaching out to you to join us at the Peak Awards on the 22nd of May, where one lucky agent will actually win a place on this fam trip. And then again, for UK agents, this is where you can book us. So these are our preferred partners. We do work with some others and some bed banks, but these guys are our preferred partners in the UK for you to book our resorts through. And just to mention again, our rewards program. So if you haven't joined it already, please check it out. It's playarewards.co.uk. You earn up to £25 per booking, and you get kept up to date with everything that's going on Playa. It also has a useful resource centre where you can find all of the fact sheets, the hotel images, the videos, and everything that you may need. And of course, if you can't find it, that's exactly what I'm here for. So please do get in touch if you need anything at all. And considering we started late, I've actually finished with 10 minutes to spare for some Q&As. I don't know if Sarah is still there. You are.
I'm still here, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, has Sanctuary Cap Cana reopened?
Yes, it has, yeah.
Super.
It reopened in January.
How many resorts do you have in Playa now?
25 and growing.
Has the beach at Wyndham Ultra Playa del Carmen been restored?
It hasn't that it's been restored. I think nature is just kind of taking its course with that. I think for those that maybe don't know, there isn't a very big beach here, and that is important for customers. If they're a beachy person, don't send them. I think there's only so much we can do. It's just a very small beach, and obviously we keep that up kept as much as we possibly can.
Super. Neil's asking, does Playa have FAMs planned for 2023 for US agents?
Oh, I've got no idea, but I can try and find out to put it in my follow-up, or maybe put you in contact with the person that would know, Neil. But unfortunately, I don't know for US agents. But
that would be the best option, because you've got Agent Cash Plus as well for all of the US agents. You've got a big team of BDMs that are out on the road, so I'm sure that they will be doing things.
Yeah. Oh, Neil, I've just seen Neil's comment that you booked them across the street at Hilton Playa del Carmen because it has got a great beach. It has, and that's one of my favourite properties in the collection, actually. But I think just for, you know, any agents, if you're visiting the destinations that we have hotels in, let us know. We'd love you to see the hotels, whether that's a day pass or you stay for a night. We would just love you to experience them. So if you are visiting, then just let me know.
Super. No more questions, Jade?
No, I know that was a lot to take in. There's a lot of different hotels, a lot of brands. And if anybody wants specific information on a particular hotel or brand, then again, please reach out to me. It's exactly what I'm here for. And I have got a couple of webinars that are scheduled that will focus on just certain brands and certain hotels, which make it a bit easier as well. So please watch out for those.
Super. And for your prize, are you just going to put everybody's name into a spin to win and announce it, or are you going to do a question where they get 10 additional entries?
Yes, I was going to do a question. Yeah.
Okay, so if everybody can go to chat, make sure you drop down says everyone. Jade's got a little question to ask you. So everybody gets one entry into the spin to win. If you are the first person with the correct answer, you get 10. So there's a much enhanced chance of you winning. So Jade, over to you with your question.
Thank you. So it is a 2-answer question. So 2 answers, and that is, they don't have to be the ones I've covered, but I did cover them. I would like to know the names of 2 of our hotels that are located in Cap Cana, please.
Okay, so Neil's not put the correct name. He's just put Hyatt Ziva and Hyatt.
I think he was typing so fast there, too fast. So I think, yeah, that will have to be Anita. She said Sanctuary and Zalara, which are of course 2 that are in Cap Cana.
Well, Sanctuary and Zalara, Hyatt Zalara Cap Cana.
It is Hyatt, but nobody's mentioned. Well, if we be really specific, let's have a look. We've got, so
have a look at which one.
I'm having another look. Sarah's being very strict. I'm having another look. So in terms of full names, without saying Cap Cana, I think Jennifer was the first to probably say Hyatt Ziva and Hyatt Zalara. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I think Neil had kind of got there first, but spelled it wrong.
Then you pick. You pick 10 entries extra. So
All right, let's do Jennifer.
Okay.
Sorry, Neil, you spelled it wrong.
You'll all get entered still anyway. You will all still get
Yeah.
one entry for taking part in the webinar anyway. So good luck to everybody with that.
Super, thank you very much. So I don't have anything else to cover. Do you, Jade?
No, I don't think so. Just I'm doing a Hilton webinar on the 23rd of March. So just watch out for that. I'll be talking about everything Hilton for all of the properties under that brand. So if anybody's interested, then please just watch out for that and you can listen to one of my presentations again.
Super, thank you very much, Jade. Thank you, everybody. We will see you all next week. Have a great weekend and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.